Hello, my name is Melanie Bella, and now I'm gonna talk about cultural dimensions. Well, Geert Hofstede was a Dutch anthropologist and writer. He developed the five dimensions model to identify uh, persistent cultural patterns within groups. There are five dimensions and their names are first individualism and collectivism versus collectivism, two power distance, three masculinity versus femininity, four uncertainty evidence, long-term versus short-term orientation is the last one. And to start, we have the first uh, dimension that is individualism that values people independence and personal achievement, while collectivists focus on group loyalty and commitment to family or community. And we have some example for both of them. And in the case of individualists, these groups encourage self-expression and at the same time independence decision making. Also they encourage others to be like them. In the case of collectivists, these groups participate in voluntary activities that supporting a disadvantaged group or promoting important social causes. Also, there are many countries like Belgium, Switzerland, the Netherlands, Denmark, etc., tend to be individualists. In the case collectivists, there are Brazil, Turkey, Mexico, Chile, Taiwan, etc. Number two, we have power distance, and definition is it is a level of acceptance in a society that some people have more power than other. And in high power distance society, authority figures are expect to handle the situations, while in low power distance society, power is more equally distributed. The examples are high power distance. In some company, managers make decisions without consulting employees. They cannot be questioned. And in the case of low power distance, leaders are more open to employees' ideas and suggestions. Also, we have the third, we have masculinity versus femininity. Hosting masculinity versus femininity dimension measure gender role distribution in society. In the case of the masculinity culture, professional success is highly valued, and in the case of femininity, cooperation and social unity are valued more than individual achievements. And we have the fourth dimension, that is uncertain evidence. Uncertain evidence measures the extent to which people feel threatened by uncertainty and try to avoid unknown situation by applying rigid rules. They refuse to change. And in the case of high uncertainty evidence, we have like example like people may be reluctant to try new ideas or innovation without any guarantee of success. Also, people tend to prefer secure and stable jobs over risky entrepreneurial ventures. And in the case of low uncertainty evidence, innovation and creativity are really important because people are willing to take risks to try new ideas. Also, people may be willing to accept the uncertainty as a normal part of life and find ways to adapt to it rather than avoid it. And the last one is long versus short-term orientation. Long-term orientation focus on the future, valuing perseverance, And certain orientation focus on the present and the past value and traditions. And examples in long term, people with this orientation tend to be quite conservative, sorry, and save money, time, and some resources for the future. Also, people are more flexible and willing to change their traditional norms if it means progressing. Also, in short terms, this orientation focus on quick and practical result. Uh, Also, inherited tradition and customs are respect and preserved. Now, I'm going to talk about intercultural competence. And in intercultural competence is the ability to work well across cultures, involving understanding difference and communicating respectfully. It includes skills, knowledge, attitudes, and behavior for effective performance in multicultural settings. Like you can see, uh, we have some characteristics like communication skill, cultural awareness. There is a deep understanding of one's own culture and the culture of other, and tolerance for uncertainty is the last one. Well, I'm gonna give an example. In education, an exchange student who adapt to the host country culture shows intercultural competence by respecting local customs and participating in some activities. Uh, Now, what does intercultural communication focus on? It focuses on differences in communication style and causes of misunderstanding. On studying these factors help improve interaction between people from diverse cultures. And now we have context. We have high context cultures like Japan, China, Korea, many Latin American countries. The communication is primarily understood through context and not just words. Um, Nonverbal cues like gesture, tone of voice, and facial expression are very important along with words. And in loud culture like Germany, United States, and others, the communication is open and clear, and they are not very reliant on nonverbal elements. And like one example of misunderstanding could be in Japan, when people remain silent, it sometimes means they disagree or dislike something, but someone who is not familiar with this custom might think they agree, so there can be misunderstandings. Or in the case that is the non-verbal communication like gestures, facial expression, maybe can be positive in one culture but offensive in another, like this. In my culture is positive, but in others is unoffensive. Um, to finish, developing intercultural competence in a student of English as a foreign language is really necessary for them to communicate in a correct way with a speaker from another culture. Uh, a student need to not interpret the silent and certain gestures correctly to avoid misunderstanding and promote a respectful environment. Also, the knowledge of cultural dimension is very important as it provides valuable information that can help a student understand how cultural difference influence behaviors and communication style. It is a good tool for students, for prepared students to be successful in a multicultural world. Thank you.